Hello my loves, welcome back to another vlog. I get so many questions from you about capsule wardrobes, about how to feel more confident, how to plan your wardrobe, what pieces to choose, brand recommendations. So I thought that I would make a cup of tea, have a little sit down, a little cozy chat and answer your capsule wardrobe questions which you very kindly sent through on Instagram. Okay, so the first question is, do you ever get tempted to buy clothes outside of your colours or style? And I had a lot of questions about this, about getting bored and wanting to try new things. And the answer is, of course. I think that is very normal and very human and also part of being creative. But what I've found over the many years that I have owned a capsule wardrobe is that there is a difference in appreciating something and being able to love it and liking that thing on myself for a sustainable amount of time. So the way that I deal with this is I ask myself on repeat, would I still love this if it wasn't new? Can I see myself wearing this for the next 5 years, sometimes 10 years? And this is where it really helps me to slow down and take my time. So I keep a folder, keep a private Pinterest mood board of my personal style and also outfits that I love and maybe new things that are tempting me. So I save them away and then I wait at least a week before entertaining the idea of seriously buying it, and usually just delaying it a little bit. The desire tends to slip away, it tends to fade, and I realize that, oh, I just love that piece, but I know that I'm not actually going to wear it on repeat, in which case there's no point in buying it. What can also be really useful in those situations is to explore the feeling behind the desire. So it might be a craving for novelty or a more flamboyant way to express myself, and I like to try and find other ways to do that that are a bit more sustainable and cost effective, as opposed to buying things that I'm not going to wear on repeat or keep for a long period of time. So I might do something like try a new lipstick shade, or I might realize that it's actually a new creative project that I'm craving. Okay, so the next question is, what are the best brands to look out for when you want quality that lasts but is still affordable? Okay, so I think it depends on your lifestyle and values. But personally, I really love the quality of brands like Cézanne, which is a real go-to for me for any kind of piece. Shoes, basics, more fancy pieces, accessories. I absolutely love what they do. I also really like Arket as a brand, though I find that aesthetically it's probably a little bit more plain and masculine for my style personally, which my 3 keywords include the word feminine. But for good quality go-to basics, I think Arket is a fantastic brand to go for. I also really like And Other Stories. I think that their pieces are really good, high quality, and they are super affordable as well. They also have a really nice range of products, so I think there's probably something always there for everyone. I really like Everlane as well for elevated basics, and I would say Uniqlo is always a good go-to. It's a really popular brand in Paris. What I find the key is, no matter which brand you're buying from, is that less is always better. So it's better to have fewer pieces of the right pieces, say one really beautiful sweater that's good quality that you enjoy wearing, over having 3 almost right sweaters. And that one piece doesn't have to be really high quality or luxurious. I find that when you have less, you tend to appreciate that thing more. So it feels more luxurious anyway, because you take care of it, you see it, you appreciate it, and wearing it every day is a little act of celebration and appreciation. So I think that makes the biggest difference. Next question is, how do you plan your new pieces? Where does your inspiration come from? Okay, so I start with my life first. My life is always above and before fashion. So I'm thinking about what I'm actually doing, and most importantly, how I want to feel while I'm doing that thing. And then that paves the way for what piece is required. In my How to Build a Year-Round Capsule Wardrobe ebook, 2 questions that I recommend journaling on each day while you're tracking what you wear, just to raise your awareness as to what's really going on in your wardrobe right now, is, what did I wear today? So write everything out. How did I feel wearing that thing? And what do I wish I'd worn instead? And I think raising that level of awareness is so important first. And then you can get to the fun stuff. You can get to the visual inspiration, which personally I take mine from all over the place. So I have favorite style influencers that I follow on Instagram. I will leave links to them for you. I love Pinterest, obviously, and I try to notice my recurring themes on there, which is really, really useful. And then I also take a lot of inspiration from magazines and books and museums, you know, original art and films as well. There are no limits as to where my inspiration comes from, but I'm constantly looking for pieces that reflect my 3 key words, that evoke that feeling that I'm looking to curate. And then when I find those pieces, wherever I happen to find them, that's usually the answer that was worth exploring. Next question is, where to start if you are new? So begin with observation, not action. It all starts with noticing and raising your awareness. I have this belief that most people are so much more minimalist than they think they are. Research has shown that we wear 20% of our wardrobes 80% of the time. So you likely already have a capsule wardrobe within what you already own. What I would suggest is to spend a week or 2 just paying attention to what you're actually wearing, keeping a track of that, and how that makes you feel, what kind of pieces you are reaching for on repeat, and what your daily life requires in terms of clothes. Also pay attention to what sits untouched in your wardrobe, what you are not wearing, despite how you feel about it. Write down the outfits that you are wearing the most, as well as the colours that you find create the feeling of calm, as well as confidence. What comes next is to very slowly build around these. So choose a couple of colours, 3 if you like, 1 neutral at a minimum and 1 accent, just to keep things really, really simple. Choose your 3 style keywords, how you want your wardrobe to make you feel. If you need inspiration, mine are classic, feminine and simple. Definitely allow yourself to take your time. There is absolutely no rush here. I used to think that this was a tick box exercise, building a capsule wardrobe, and that one day I would be done and then it would be perfect and everything would be wonderful. It's not like that at all. A wardrobe, the most beautiful thing about it actually is that it is ever evolving alongside you. You're always just at one particular stage of the journey, for want of a better word. I have this question quite a lot. Can you share your favourite loungewear / sleepwear, please? So, yes, I like to keep loungewear, sleepwear, anywhere exactly the same as my core capsule wardrobe. So my 3 style keywords still apply there, as do my colours, everything. I like everything to feel like an extension of the core, a little bit like a tree. Core capsule is the trunk, and then hobbies, loungewear, anything else kind of springs off that. The brands that I feel most aligned with are for PJs and loungewear. I love the White Company, a British brand, and love their pyjamas. I love their cashmere socks, are to die for. That's a really good one. And then I also really love Zara Home. I tend to visit that one when I'm in Paris quite a lot, and I turn to them again and again recently for pyjamas as well as slippers. The other one I really like, I would say, loungewear wise, I kind of crossed this one over with workout, but I really love Lululemon, and I love their Align leggings in particular and their Align joggers. I use those to work out in for yoga, but I also like to lounge around the house in those. And I feel like Cezanne's sweaters, which I'm wearing one right now, they translate really well as well. So I'll wear those out and about, but they also fit beautifully into loungewear. I wouldn't sleep in them, but loungewear wise, I really, really like. And the final one that I really love is the Italian brand Intimissimi. I love their silks. I have a really nice silk slip night dress from them that I really like. They do lovely pyjamas. I'm a huge fan of them for underwear as well. Okay, tips for when you live in all 4 very different seasons: long, dark, cold, snowy winters. Okay, so what I would advise is to build in micro capsules. So keep your core wardrobe the same, the core pieces in that wardrobe the same, depending on what your style is. So for me, that would be jeans, knits, coats, dresses, I would say, would be in there for me as well. And then just swap your materials and accessories. So in winter, you'd be adding things like merino wool, heavier duty coats and lined boots, whereas in summer you'd be turning to lighter cotton materials, and then everything should mix and match and blend beautifully. I also think it would be good to rely on colour psychology a little bit in these cases, because I think what we wear affects our mood so much more than we give it credit for. So something that I like to do, especially in winter, is to turn to lighter coloured materials because I find that it lifts my mood. I also think that white in winter always just looks so beautiful, and yet it's a colour that not many people go for. So definitely lean into that, into how the colours that you wear affect your mood, and play with that and have fun with it. Okay, which shoes do you add in winter to your capsule? Okay, so my winter shoe rotation, my winter shoe go-tos personally are boots, trainers, loafers. And if I need to wear heels, I would go for a full toe heeled slingback. Yeah, they would be my go-tos. And then it's about which version of those suits you. Loafers, I think, are the go-to for most people, and you have so much leeway with those. You can go for a more feminine, a more masculine style, chunky, sleek, different colours, so much available. Boots, I mean, there's just so much on offer. For me personally, I like a knee-high boot and I like a heeled boot, but flat boots, heeled boots, ankle, knee, whatever, I think that is the place to venture into for winter shoes. I do like a leather or vegan leather style trainer in the winter, always white or off-white, because I think they just go with absolutely everything. And then heels, yeah, I think that depends on what it is that you personally like, but for me, I prefer full toe coverage in the winter, but I'll allow a slingback, and then I can wear it with I can wear them with tights and still not feel too cold or out of place. So for me, I think of winter footwear as something very emotional still, but also very grounding. So it's about what curates the feelings that I'm going for, but also what's practical as well. And I think those options marry the two really well. Thank you so much for your questions, loves. I hope that you have found value in the answers. I wanted to leave you with this, which is the biggest realization that I've had along my own capsule wardrobe path, and it is that a capsule wardrobe isn't really about the clothes. It is about discovering who you are and dressing yourself from that place of love. And what I've found is that the fewer decisions that I have to make when I look in the mirror every day, the more energy I have to spend on what really matters to me in my life, and that's what it's really about. So keep it simple, keep it slow, keep it intentional, and you'll be fine.